Just when it seemed Sandro Tonali's future was becoming a conversation centred around Manchester United, Arsenal have suddenly entered the picture and changed the mood completely. Reports suggest that sporting director Andrea Berta has already made quiet moves behind the scenes, turning what looked like a Manchester United-led story into a genuine transfer battle. What previously felt like a move heading in one direction is now becoming one of the most intriguing transfer stories of the summer window. Do you think Mikel Arteta can actually pull off this massive coup right under United's noses? Following on from that sudden twist, the reliable Fabrizio Romano has now dropped an update confirming that Arsenal have made concrete phone calls in recent days to explore a deal for Tonali. This immediately changes the conversation surrounding the saga, proving that the club is no longer just a passive observer watching from a distance. Behind closed doors at the Emirates, Andrea Berta and the recruitment team are evaluating a player many expected to end up elsewhere. Newcastle's absence from European football has only fueled further speculation around Tonali's future, adding another layer of intrigue to Arsenal's growing interest. The timing of Arsenal's move is particularly interesting. Manchester United have long been linked with Tonali, but Newcastle's valuation has complicated any potential deal. Having already secured Ederson from Atalanta to strengthen their midfield options alongside Kobbie Mainoo, reports suggest United are now exploring more cost-effective alternatives rather than committing to such a significant fee. In contrast, Arsenal appear willing to assess whether a deal of this magnitude could be worth pursuing, creating a very different dynamic in the race for Tonali. Naturally, this unexpected link has sparked plenty of debate among Arsenal supporters. Some Gooners see Tonali as a Premier League-proven box-to-box midfielder, who could add energy, intensity and another level of quality to Mikel Arteta's squad. Others are questioning whether spending such a substantial fee on a midfielder makes sense when a clinical goal-scorer remains one of the club's biggest priorities this summer. It has quickly become one of the most fascinating discussions across the Arsenal fan base. The tension surrounding this saga is only likely to grow as Newcastle continue to show little indication that they are willing to part with one of their most important players. Several reports suggest any deal could approach the £100 million mark, a figure that would immediately place enormous pressure on Arsenal's summer budget. If the club decides to push forward, it would become one of the biggest decisions of Andrea Berta's first transfer window. Would you spend £100 million on Tonali to strengthen the midfield, or should that money be reserved for a world-class number 9? Leading on from that financial debate, it's clear that even without an official bid on the table, Arsenal's sudden presence has significantly changed the conversation around Sandro Tonali. What once looked like a story centred around Manchester United has now evolved into a genuine race involving Arsenal, Newcastle and one of the most highly rated midfielders in the Premier League. The big question now is whether Mikel Arteta and Andrea Berta are prepared to take this interest to the next level, or whether this is simply the opening chapter of a much longer transfer saga. One thing is certain. This story is far from over, and every new update will be watched closely by Arsenal supporters throughout the summer. So, do you think Tonali should be one of Arsenal's priority targets this summer?